New information tonight about an eviction crisis. It's hitting Hampton Roads hard. 4 months ago, we told you 6 Virginia cities had some of the highest eviction rates in the country.
The campaign to reduce evictions is working to figure out why that is and how to change it. 13 News Now reporter Jacqueline Lee has the story.
Janet, representatives from the Virginia Poverty Law Center say this fight against high eviction rates is just getting started. They're making it their mission to find the root of the issue and then find a solution. 266 Virginians face getting evicted from their homes every day. Just ask Sharon Giles.
You want to give up, but you can't because you know you have these children to raise and you have to keep on going. You have to fight the struggle.
Or ask Christina Gardner, who lives under the threat of eviction every day.
You can just put a 72-hour notice on my door and I have to leave. That's what possession of my unit means.
Both women fell behind on rent payments, but reps from the Virginia Poverty Law Center say they and other Virginians are wronged by state laws that disproportionately target the poor.
It's not that they don't want to pay the rent, it's that they can't. It's unaffordable.
Today, dozens of tenants, community leaders, and housing representatives took a look at the data, trying to figure out why Hampton Roads has the greatest eviction rates in the entire country.
It's just unfair. Our income inequality levels have gotten to the point of being punitive, ridiculous.
Data shows factors like high electricity rates and the lack of affordable housing contribute to the problem.
It's just humiliating. It's wrong. It's unheard of.
So everyone who attended broke out into work groups to brainstorm solutions. They want to change laws so thousands across Virginia, just like Giles and Gardner, don't face the stress of being kicked out of their homes.
The problem is now that even if I pay all of that, you can still put me out. Just like the man said, I go through all of that. And you can still evict me. And I'm sitting there like, what?
And reps from the Virginia Poverty Law Center say they'll have another meeting in Richmond on September 25th. Jacqueline Lee, 13 News Now.